All right, guys, how's it going? So, James Pearce at The Athletic put out an article this morning or overnight. It says 6 hours ago. I'm sure you've seen it. How Liverpool 2.01 was built and FSG abandoned any plans to sell. So, this is basically the article, and some of you will have read it. And as soon as this article came out, I went into my usual mindset of why am I reading it? What's the message? Who wants me? Is there something behind it? Do you know what I mean? Like, not because there always is something, but just like, right, what time of the year is it? Oh, it's December. Well, we're approaching a January transfer window. So let's big FSG up, like, just in case they don't do anything, maybe, because we should be so very grateful that we've got FSG and the club's in a great place. Is it going to be one of those kind of articles? Is it Liverpool Football Club's not for sale, but really it is? Are they putting this, like, we're definitely not for sale message out because someone's trying to buy them? Do you know what I mean? Like, I always think when I see an article, especially one about FSG written by someone like James Pearce, I'm suspicious immediately before I've read it. That's basically what I'm trying to say to you. And I try and work out, if there's a reason why that's out there. Because it's random, right? I mean, like, it's mid-season, we're doing all right. Why do we need to be talking about the owners? That's what I think, for transparency. I'm not a fan of the owners in the sense of I don't like non-football people owning football clubs for the reasons that they want to own them. That's all. I'm not FSG out. I don't walk around with placards and hashtags and stuff like that. I wouldn't be bothered if they left, and I'm not really bothered if they stay, sort of thing. You know what I mean? There's times when they've really, really frustrated me. When I think that they should have backed Jurgen more, not for £100 million Ferraris, but for 25 million here and there, and just stuff like that, But equally, I can also look and say, well, the club's doing pretty well at the moment, and they got the managerial appointment right. When I was really, worried that we might implode when Jurgen left. So, if you're gonna blame them for everything that goes wrong because they're at the top, then when everything goes right, then surely you should praise them as well as a grown adult. Do you know what I mean? Whether you like them or not. But that's me just being transparent. So I don't particularly like them, though. I've got to be honest with you. I would rather have the Arabs in flip flops any day of the week. Oh, definitely, because they're the football people. Do you know what I mean? But that's another topic. But I think it's important that I'm transparent with you. If you're new to my channel, if you've been around here ages, you know my thoughts on it. But if I'm secretly FSG out and I'm slagging him off in an article, it's better to be transparent, right? Anyway, so I've read this article. There's no point going through it with you, I don't think. You're really not missing anything. And I've got to be honest with you, it's a non-article to me. I don't really see anything in this article. I don't see a message, other than, FSG I've got no intentions of selling the club. I guess that's what the message is here. And FSG are doing really well. And they considered it, as a while back, to test the water kind of thing. But they've got no intentions of selling. So it's kind of like, I think we know all this kind of stuff. So I'm really confused by the article. I can't, in terms of timing, I'm thinking, there's a January transfer window approaching. Let's just remind everyone that the club's, in top of the league, this league, that league. We've got a great manager. We're doing everything right. I guess at the moment there's a lot of frustration amongst supporters, the fan base with regards to the contract situation. So again, because there's a bit in this article that says, there is a section of the fan base that don't like them. So is this a little reminder of just fucking chill your brow? We're doing all right, or is it just a case that James Pearce hasn't written anything for a while and he needs to justify his employment to the Athletic? Do you know what I mean? There's really nothing in this article, to be honest with you. There's one thing that I was going to mention, though, to you. for people that might not be aware, if I can find it. In September 2023, following discussions with a number of interested parties, FSG sold a small stake in Liverpool to New York-based sports investment firm Dynasty Equity, right? Sources close to the deal said it was worth between $100 million and $200 million, a stake of around 3 to 4%. Again, if you're from around these parts, if you've been here a while, you'll know what I'm going to say next. So, Dynasty Equity, right? DynastyEquity.com. Look them up. And go to like the About Us page or Our Team. I'm not sure which part of it's on. You'll come across this chap here on Dynasty Equity. Some of you might recognize him. David Ginsberg, right? And David Ginsberg is a senior advisor at Dynasty Equity. All right. Dynasty Equity is an investment company. So they invest money into things like Liverpool Football Club, and they want a return on that money, right? And not in 10, 20, 30 years' time, right? I am not a financial expert. You've got people like Rich T that you might see in the comments that might watch this video. If you see his comments, pay attention to him. He's very intelligent with this kind of stuff. He knows about all this stuff. He's been involved with this stuff. And he knows people, in the Middle East to do with royalty. If anyone was in that sort of area was ever going to step into Liverpool, Rich T is someone that you can trust with his knowledge. You can trust me, but I'd be a liar if I said I understood it all. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to this sort of stuff, I have a fucking bad enough time reading a bank statement. So David Ginsberg is basically a senior advisor for Dynasty Equity, right? And they bought in, yeah? So fine, you're thinking, right, okay, so what about it? He's also the vice chairman of Fenway Sports Group, right? So he knows everything that FSG are doing. He knows everything that they're going to do, what their plans are, right? He's also, as well as all the other titles he's got, to do with their other franchises and that, he's vice chairman of the Boston Red Sox and vice chairman of Liverpool Football Club. He is your vice chairman, right? That's what it says here, you know what I mean? So David Ginsberg is a senior advisor. He's FSG's vice chairman. So he advises Dynasty Equity, you should buy in. And they're going to say why, and he's going to tell them why, right? So they obviously know their plan. Dynasty Equity obviously know what FSG are going to do with Liverpool Football Club because they've got the man on the inside advising them to buy into it. So there is going to be a sale. There will be a sale, right? There's no way Dynasty Equity. That's why Dynasty Equity have invested into us, right? Sometimes these companies, big companies, or countries even buy football clubs because for tourism, or for just to promote their country, or to fly the flag basically. And they look at it from that point of view. Dynasty Equity don't want that. Dynasty Equity want equity, so they will expect a return on their investment. And they just so happen to have the advisor, who is the vice chairman of FSG, telling them what's going to happen. So the minute Dynasty Equity came in, and I went through this in my head, I was like, hang on a minute, he fucking knows what's going to happen. It's like if you were going to do a business deal, and you know what you're going to do with that company, to your mates, yeah, you invest because this is what I'm going to do. All right, yeah. Do you know what I mean? All right, so I went through that in my, normal, non-financial person, intelligent person's head, and I'm thinking, them fuckers, they're not stupid. They've got him on the inside telling them as an advisor, telling him to buy in, right? And then people like Rich, people that are very experienced with this and very knowledgeable, went back, don't you bang on the money. Dynasty Equity will want a return on their investment, and in a short time. Now, what you have to understand, a short time in a business sense can be many years. A short time to us might be a few weeks or a few months, but in a business sense, it's not like that. Investment as well. So you've got an article here saying, now Liverpool's not for sale, but I still believe it is. I'm not saying that they are out and about offering the club round and all that to people, right? But everything's got a price in life, And there's been times when FSG have said the club's not for sale, But they've still sent someone from within their organisation to go and see them. Be like, no, Liverpool's not for sale. But just as a matter of interest, how much would you have given us? That's the way that FSG seem to have operated since they've been custodians. And it says as much in this article that, they wanted to see, what the valuation would be of the club, what people might be willing to pay. I think, so basically they gave like a slice away, to dynasty equity, but how much would someone have been willing to buy the whole cake? Do you know what I mean? I think it says something like that in the article. So my video is much about, well, you're not really learning anything in this video unless you didn't know about Ginsberg and the association there. But that's the whole point, because what I'm trying to say to you is there's nothing in this article new to tell you. There really isn't. So I'm kind of confused as to why it's being published. So yes, it's pro-FSG, which is what you'd expect from James Pearce. It's not a criticism of him. I don't think I've really ever seen him criticise them when they deserve to be criticised. He's very, pro-FSG or whatever. Don't want to make it sound like, sometimes people, he's been told what to write. No, I don't believe that. I just think he tends to only write positive things about him. When every time in life, sometimes the manager, even when it was Jurgen Klopp, he does some good things and we all praise him. There's times when he should be criticised or a player should be criticised, right? And it just seems like, and I know there's people will agree with me, that James Pearce, for example, and other journalists, they only ever write positively about FSG, and that's probably to stay on the right side of people at the club and stuff like that, right? That's their job. It's not a criticism of James or anything. I'm sure he's a lovely kid. And the article itself, I thought, oh, right, here we go. And we're going to go into this. It's going to be talking about Edwards and Hughes, which it does do. And it's going to be gushing. That's what I expected. And I don't really think the article was. I don't think it was really like, when they're like kissing their ass and stuff like that, sticking their tongue right with their ass and that, which we see from some of these journalists from time to time. And that usually gives you an indicator of who the source is behind the articles, right? Because if it's like, oh, the ever impressive, Michael Edwards, it's like, all right, so if Michael Edwards was the one in the article you quoted then. So it's just a confusing article. It's a no article. It's a non-article, to be honest with you. I don't know what you'd agree. Have you read it? What do you think? Strange, I thought. It's a bit strange. Just a reminder that FSG are brilliant. That's it. That's really what they are. Might as well just put that in an headline. FSG are brilliant. Remember that. End of article. Because there's nothing else in it. Strange. All right, now, I'm going to record a separate video now to do with this. There's a chap that's been floating around all through 2024, really, who's convinced that he is trying to buy Liverpool Football Club and can buy Liverpool Football Club through a fan-funded model. And he's been copying me and various VIPs and executives to do with the club and FSG, and he's been blitzing them with emails, people in the media, myself. I've gone over this many times before. He copied me in on an email yesterday. Again, I was out with my friend yesterday, so I was like, nah, I'll have a look tomorrow, sort of thing. So I'm going to do a video about that, because that's like to do with LSE takeover attempt, fan-funded stuff. So we'll do another video about that, otherwise this will go on forever. But I don't think it's related, it's not related to this. If someone was trying to buy the club now, right, seriously trying to buy the club, like, let's just say the men in flip-flops, right? Let's say they were trying to buy the club. And that article drops from FSG, well, from James Pearce, same thing, saying the club is not for sale. I'd be thinking, oh, that's interesting. They're trying to buy the club. They're not for sale. They're now playing it out. Here we go, backwards and forwards. You know what I mean? It's not related, because this shouldn't be taken seriously, what I'm about to speak to you in a moment. All right? If this isn't a very interesting video, I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to say this to people and say, look, this is, we're not trying to be sensational and have fancy graphics and like, oh my God, you won't believe what, do you know what I mean? It's like, this is a news article and there's nothing really in the news articles. It's not my fault that it's not very fucking exciting or don't make sense. Because it doesn't really make sense. Strange, really. Maybe we'll work it out later. All right, if you appreciate the video, please thumbs up anyway. Please drop me a comment. And if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, then by all means hit the super thanks button under the video. But I'd rather have a comment from you, really. What do you think about it? Did you read the article? I bet when you saw the article, you thought the same as me and was like, hello, what's fucking going on here then? It does talk about the restructure of the club and how amazing everything is and that, so it is big in FSG up, but that's pretty obvious with the way that the article's titled. But it's strange. I don't know. Clueless on this one, guys, to be honest with you.